What goals did you set for 2025? If better sleep is one, Symbiotica's magnesium L-threonate helps you wake up refreshed. For gut health, their glutathione supports digestion and reduces bloating. Symbiotica is one of the most transparent brands out there, never compromising on quality or sourcing. Their products are free from seed oils, preservatives, toxins, and artificial additives, something you can taste and feel in every packet. Go to Symbiotica.com and use code iHeart for 20% off and free shipping. That's Symbiotica.com, code iHeart.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I mean, I thought it was okay. It just didn't wow me. So
I feel the same way. I did like the Crystal Gems remix, though. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, and that Drift Away song. That was
that Bismuth. Yeah, they were both good. Yeah.
Right?
Gentlemen, welcome to the future.
Oh, Monday. It's Monday.
What?
Right, yeah. I just set a thing on my
Forgot
watch.
about
I've
that.
mentioned it
See, now that's
before.
smart. I got to get a watch.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think you nailed all our sound equipment together in a ball and
Satellite.
You're planning to fire it out the window at the yoga studio across the street.
Launch it into space, but yes, so far good.
Using a slingshot you've made from a sex swing and a field goal from a football field around the corner.
Improvised launch mechanism, but otherwise nailing it.
And it also isn't going to work. So,
Yeah, like not even a little bit. Sex swings can't handle that kind of load.
Guys, come on.
Pretty
That's
sure
what
of that.
everyone said about today's subject, the Voyager space program.
Oh, they very much did not.
yeah, I spent like a dozen years on it, man.
And look what it's given us. Pictures of the moon,
We had
pictures
those.
of Mars, all cobbled together with a hope and a prayer.
What?
None of those things. That's not what we have from that.
Nope,
You got
not
that
at
Come
all.
on, guys. In times like these, people need something to bring them together. Yes, Voyager has given us some incredible scientific insight, but it also brought us together as a nation. It reminds us how small we are. It reminds us that there's something still left to see, left to explore, rather than our hatred of each other. And I just feel like now more than ever, we need that.
Sure, why not? Yeah, go ahead.
My vote was always yes. I was
Okay,
just,
I
I
guess
wanted the
so.
slingshot. Yeah.
Was it?
That's the ticket.
Okay, that is what I thought would happen. I
Right
mean,
in the
really.
yoga
Yep.
I
place.
think I called it. Like before it happened, I called it.
Exactly what we figured would
Damn.
happen. Yep.
You got 3 pigs.
It's just perfect. Yep.
Move the studio again?
Yep. All right, that's well, pretty much. I guess we're gonna have to do that again.
Start wrapping up the cables.
Shoot it again. Can we shoot it again? Just put anything in it.
Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, a podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts. Because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Heath, and I'll be the Agent Zed for this interplanetary adventure. And joining me is our diverse team of men in white. First up, we have 3 men who put the fur in Fermi's paradox: Cecil, Tom, and Eli.
You know, Heath, as I get older, I also put the ache in the Drake equations.
Fur. I wasn't the only one at that furry convention dressed like a cat, but I was the only one who brought his own litter box. I thought that was rude.
All right, you slip one little yiff porn into the Voyager golden record, and suddenly you're that guy at NASA. Okay, I see how we're doing this.
What's yiff porn?
Please look that up here right now while I listen
Okay.
to you
No.
doing it.
Looking it up. Am I going to get in trouble for? I feel like this is going to put me on a list or something.
I'm going to use my work computer.
I'm not looking it up. Thank you, Tom. And also joining us, moving right along, we also have a man who is not hiding chin fat with a beard, Noah.
Aw, dude, that's a little harsh. fully half of you guys aren't hiding it at all. I mean, it's just fuzzy is all, really.
That half. Got it.
you guys.
If I could get my beard long enough, I'd have my belly fat too, motherfucker.
If I could have a love handle beard, I'd have a sweet, thick love handle
You just
beard.
grow your sideburns really big.
No. Just comb from the belly button out, and you'll be fine.
They'd just be sharp. I'd be like Freud's love handles. They'd be awesome. We're all overweight, most of us. Anyway, let's get right into the story. Tell us, Tom, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or event are we going to be talking about today?
Well, today we will be talking about the time we fed all the poor people. No, I'm just kidding. We'll be talking about something much more important, the Voyager space program.
That's fucking hilarious, though. I mean, it's super funny. No, it's super funny.
We spend so much money that you could buy lots of food.
Yeah.
Thing.
That space program is what we should definitely pick the space program apart for spending useless money. Yeah,
You see, it's a binary choice, Cecil. It's
exactly
either
right. It's
feed
either the
poor
space
people,
program or it's poor people. Those
That's
are our
it.
two options.
That's
we
it.
can't
It's a dollar
cut
or
anywhere
a dollar.
else.
It's got to go in one of the fucking piles.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying.
who knows where else we could cut? You know, I mean,
definitely not
Jesus.
depleted uranium anti-tank rounds. Those don't pay attention to
That's
that.
locked in, Tom. That's locked in.
That's locked in, and so are all the trips to Mar-a-Lago. None of that stuff. That's all locked in.
Those are entitlements. Those are official entitlements. That's locked in. That's correct.
All right, I hate all of you. I just hate all of you. I just want to get that on a record early. I hate all of you. Okay, continue on. No, keep going.
It's the preface
All right.
to this essay.
Well, Cecil, you think space travel is real. This is fun. Are you ready to use fancy words to confuse us into believing that conspiracy?
Oh, Heath, you don't need help being confused. Come on, buddy.
Okay.
That's
so. What was the Voyager space program? You sound like that.
It was about 1/80th as expensive as our annual feeding the poor people budget.
Fuck all of you. Fuck all of you. You anti-science fucks. I hate you all. Anyway.
Someone do an essay on feeding the poor people. I'll hit that hard. I just want to say.
I'm not actually reading this to you. I'm reading this to the science-minded members of our audience right now, okay? So you guys can listen along if you want, but I'm talking to you, audience member. You who care about science. That's who I'm talking to.
Before you start, real quick, blanket boo nerd, just for the whole thing. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay.
The Voyager missions. I can't even read this. It's so hard to even read this. I was so excited when I wrote this, and you guys just popped the bubble so
I'm
early.
excited with you,
Fuck
Cecil.
you
You and
guys.
I will be excited for this episode, goddammit.
Oh my God, you guys are doing all the work on this group project. It's amazing.
That's already our worst episode. All right. Okay. So, the Voyager missions were kind of amazing. We had this really unquenchable spirit of discovery when it came to space exploration in the 60s and 70s, and Voyager is really a product of that. It's a story about us dipping our toe into the cosmic pool, and it's a story of hope that we aren't alone in the universe.
And about how Stanley Kubrick built Neptune out of paper mache. So, soundstage.
He's real talented.
I don't know, man. Am I the only one hoping that we are alone in the universe? Like, I mean, I feel like limiting our shame to one planet can only do us good at this point.
Oh, Tom, we will limit our shame to one planet. Don't worry.
Yeah. The ocean god has an entire planet of his own just floating through space. Okay.
The origin of the Voyager missions actually began in a different space program, Mariner. Mariner started in 1962 and ran until 1973 with the purpose of sending robotic interplanetary probes to Mars, Venus, and Mercury. According to Wikipedia, quote, the program included a number of firsts, including the first planetary flyby, the first planetary orbiter, and the first gravity assist maneuver, end quote.
Also included the first guy to shit his pants in space, but Wikipedia keeps taking my edits down because they're afraid of the truth.
Yeah. I think the fact that they were unmanned missions might also factor into it, but could be the fear of the truth, too.
Just teach the concept.
Three-dimensional space, just Eli shitting.
Thank you.
I'm still waiting to send that probe to Uranus, but I've been sending feeler missions for years. I haven't gotten past the outer ring, though.
So I'm going to pronounce Uranus correctly through the rest of this essay.
And I
so
am
it may
not.
ruin your anus
He
jokes.
is funnier
I
than
am
butts.
not.
It may ruin your Uranus jokes. I'm sorry.
I will
in advance.
repronounce those
I'm
for you.
I'm sorry
And
in
for the
advance.
joy of the audience.
Yeah.
I'm going to turn all my stuff into pee jokes. That's fine.
If you'd like to purchase your Boo Nerd / Uranus commentary track, head on over to iTunes.
Butt stuff.
All right. So
You can pee from your butt.
there were.
That's relevant. That all made sense. Go ahead, Cecil.
There were okay. I'm going to continue. There were 10 planned Mariner space missions, and 7 of the 10 were successful. They were all shot into space with Atlas rockets, and they each used solar panels for power. The equipment ranged for each mission, but most of them had a standard complement, which could include several of the following sensors: ultraviolet photometer, cosmic dust, solar plasma, trapped radiation, cosmic rays, magnetic fields, camera with digital tape recorder, and celestial mechanics.
Really? Okay, we're just not going to talk about the fact that every other item on that list is made up? Look, everybody pads the budget, but solar plasma? Come on, try, NASA.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry, but celestial mechanics sensor really seems like it's just there to impress a bureaucrat. Well, we could use this to determine the movement of the planets by seeing how far away it is from them. It's a ruler. We hold it at arm's length.
They had to use Atlas rockets because before that, people just kept kicking fucking sand into the face of the other rockets. It was like a whole... It's a whole program.
The 3 that didn't make it were Mariner 1, which was destroyed about 5 minutes after liftoff when its rocket malfunctioned. Mariner 3 was useless because its nose fairing didn't jettison.
Okay, yeah, but maybe if everybody would stop looking right at it and be able to
Stage fright.
concentrate a little. It's fucking rude.
And Mariner 8 was lost on launch as well.
Suspect. Really? No Jewish astronauts any of those days. Very convenient.
And rocket fuel does burn that hot. Of the 7 functioning probes in the Mariner program, 6 are in heliocentric orbit, and Mariner 9 is still in areocentric orbit around Mars, but it's predicted to make planetfall in 2022 when we crown Jared Kushner as the new prince, I think is when that happened. Yeah. Mariner was expected to continue with what was called the Grand Tour program. The idea was that we would send out 4 probes to the outer planets. 2 would visit Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, and the other 2 would visit Jupiter and Uranus. The
Neptune's
problem
a hoax.
Uranus.
Why wouldn't they mention Neptune there? That's weird, isn't it? I'm just saying.
Because this isn't what we went with.
You go to all that. Why would you just skip? That's fine. Fake.
The problem in the early 70s, it had an estimated cost of about $1 billion, so it was canceled.
They're just like, you nerds want $1 billion for your stupid fucking thing? No, we just spent $20 billion for a nuke on a giant slingshot for shooting down other nukes. Absolutely not. Go fuck yourself. God damn it. U.S. government's like the cokehead dad who can't give his kid lunch money because he just bought a kilo. He's just like, ask me. No, I did it all.
They instead decided to send only 2 probes to the outer planets, and the program's name was changed to Voyager.
Yeah, which ended up only costing the same $1 billion.
It's the same billion. It turns
Seems
out.
like
Yeah,
you
same
just
billion.
That's the great thing about all the NASA stories is they're smarter than us, so all of their stories always end up with, and then we tricked you idiots into giving us the money anyway. Always, 100% of the time.
They said, "Don't worry, all the poor people are in outer space. We're going to feed them with this rocket." And
See,
that's
now
how-
I like the story better. We put the poor people
Okay.
where
Yeah.
they... Okay.
Jupiter sure does look Muslim. Take it.
Just shooting Mexican babies into space. You know what? Now we're going to separate them further than that. That's what you get.
Felix Baumgartner just jumps and hits a wall 3/4 of the way down.
That's an excellent reference. We don't get a lot of Felix Baumgartner references.
Yeah, no, the Red Bull references.
Everybody, if you didn't get that,
few
Google
and
Felix
far between.
Baumgartner. That was
Yeah.
hilarious.
YouTube it. Don't Google him. YouTube him.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely
yes.
video.
Yeah. These would not be the first probes to visit Jupiter and Saturn. In 1973 and 74, we launched Pioneer 10 and 11 to visit those two planets, and they would continue out into space. They were fitted with the advanced technology at the time, and we did get some good data from these missions, but it was limited. So there was still a lot of unanswered questions about the outer planets, and we hoped Voyager would answer.
Just sailing around the outside of the gas giant. All right. Once and for all, are you Uranus or Uranus? Which one? What's your name?
Okay, but they were limited to the advanced technology of the early 1970s. We basically learned what? That these planets were mostly round-ish? But it's 2019. I still lose cell reception twice on my way to work.
There had also been some good advancement in technology in the intervening years between the launch of Mariner and the Voyager program. So these probes were redesigned and fitted with different and better tech. Let's not get crazy. The computers at the time had 16 bits of RAM. Wow. They ran about...
We could just name all those numbers right now. We could do that.
And it ran about 80,000 instructions per second. And iPhone 6, for reference, has a gigabyte of RAM and can do about 3.36 billion instructions per second.
Yeah, so. That was a big upgrade, though. The 8-bit Mariner had basically just a guy blowing on the spaceship through his shirt to try to get it started. Just jamming a second Mariner on top of the first one.
Just to make sure it stays in there.
Just use a book, man.
There's not even any surprises here. I mean, like, you get a perfectly good Mariner, a couple of years later, suddenly you have to upgrade if you want any part of the fucking thing to work. Did these guys all wear black turtlenecks and die of cancer, too?
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, they could have gone with the iVoyager, but then you need the proprietary launch pad. It takes different fuel. All the fucking buttons are on the wrong side of the screen. Huge pain in the ass. Not worth it.
The spacecraft were about a ton each. About 1/6 of that ton was scientific instruments. The main body was a large dish antenna, which was attached to a housing. The housing had 3 large arms that unfolded after the launch. One had a generator, and another had several sensors, and the third housed a low-field magnetometer. Attached to the outside of the craft was the Voyager Golden Record, and we'll talk about that later. The sensor array that was on the ship had a wide and narrow angle cameras. This device was probably the most important for marketing the information because it was the one thing that non-scientists could understand: pretty pictures.
Right.
Look at that pale blue pixel. It's majestic.
A radio science...
Is that a Koopa Troopa?
A radio science system, which was used to inspect, quote, ionospheres, atmospheres, masses, gravity fields, densities, and the amount and size distribution of material in the Saturn rings and the ring dimensions, end quote.
Yeah, also came in handy when they were near a speed trap.
An infrared and ultraviolet spectrometer to collect temperature profiles and help determine the size of the particles in Saturn's rings.
Obviously.
Yep.
A triaxial flux gate magnetometer.
Who doesn't have that? Absolutely not. Those are just made up noises. Cecil just making up fucking noises.
Hold on, I gotta yell at my kids. Put down the goddamn triaxial flux gate magnetometer. Sorry, guys. Fucking kids. Dude, they don't even know how to use it.
They won't even get up to 88 miles per hour. Damn it.
So they used the triaxial fluxgate magnetometer to investigate the magnetic fields of Jupiter and Saturn and measure the solar wind in and out of the heliosphere. I'll explain what the heliosphere
Tell that
is
to
later.
the kids.
Yeah, I think we all know what a triangle Stargate Magnemite is. So let's not waste people's time going over that. We'll just skip straight to the heliosphere.
Plasma spectrometer to analyze the chemical composition of the planets.
Like, yeah. Ooh, mostly discarded water bottles. Okay, guys, you were right. It is time to do something about that. We should fix that now.
A low energy charged particle instrument to determine the atomic makeup of the galactic cosmic radiation.
A high-energy charged particle instrument in case the Klingons attack.
A cosmic ray system, which also helped determine the atomic makeup of the galactic cosmic radiation, and were vital to discovering when the probes crossed the solar system termination shock out of the heliosphere. Again, more on those terms later.
You'd need to know when that would happen.
Yeah, well, you do, but word of warning, termination shock is nowhere near cool enough to justify that term.
That's fair. That's fair. Planetary Radio Astronomy Investigation Unit.
Okay, well, now Law and Order is just reaching. That's just, we don't even need that one. It's still on my TiVo, but it's not very good.
Yeah.
Is that what? Did you guys hear that?
They used it to study the radio emission signals from Jupiter. Photopolarimeter system to gather information on the surface texture and composition of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. A plasma wave system to study the electron density profiles at Jupiter and Saturn.
And all of this was just so that one guy at NASA can get the green pie piece in Trivial Pursuit every fucking time.
Well, they didn't have Wikipedia back then. What the hell else was he going to do?
They also had a shit ton of other functions on these instruments, but these are the only ones my tiny brain partially understood. So relate that to you.
Okay, as a man who couldn't read the words you wrote on his first try, I'd love for you to lower your standards of brainhood.
You know, I'd be inclined against instructing anyone whose career path led them to being on this show to lower their standards. Tossed it in there.
So the computing power we touched on briefly, and I don't understand enough what's written here to explain much more than it was just super old tech. One documentary mentioned that you carry that amount of computing power in your pocket, and then he dramatically pulled out a key fob from his car and not a smartphone.
Wow. Wow.
NASA engineers walking away from the ship, boop, boop, and just the alarm goes off. All right. Wah, wah. The button's not working now. It's not.
Why
not
would you
using
think
the
I
key.
want to open the fucking trunk?
I'm absolutely not using the key. This is a spaceship.
In space, you can't hear your alarm scream. The spacecraft communicates with the Earth with microwaves.
Yeah, well, the first two failed because they weren't put in this side up. That was the real...
And as time goes
Like
on,
a Hot Pocket?
Yeah.
They turn it off when they start popping.
They put the whole Voyager in one of those big things you put the hot pocket in and they set it out into space.
The garbage?
Actually, it does have blankets that wrap it, actually.
It does.
Yeah, it does have solar blankets on it, yes. So, as time goes on, the data rate goes down because of the inverse square law. So we keep...
Oh, of course.
So we
I was thinking that. I'm glad you said it.
Increasing the size of the dish in order to catch the weak signals. The probe did a flyby of Neptune in 1989, and we used the Very Large Array in New Mexico, which is a group of 28 radio telescopes, and it's in the film Cosmos, if you remember that film.
Yeah, it's also the first scientific facility in the United States to be named entirely in sarcasm. Very Large Array?
Oh, Eli, look up some other radio telescope names. You're going to love them.
Fuck you, Dan. I know you slept with my wife. Telescope.
It's pretty close.
Voyager uses radioactive material in a radioisotope thermoelectric generator. This device, quote, is an electrical generator that uses an array of thermocouples to convert the heat released by the decay of a suitable radioactive material into electricity by the Seebeck effect.
Seebeck? Yeah.
Seebeck effect. Yes.
That's one of the better effects.
The generator has no moving parts, end quote. And I looked at how this thing works, and it's beyond my tiny primate thinking bits. They could have just said magic, and I'd have been fine with it. That's fine. Magic's good.
See, so I literally thought that's what you just said. I have no distinction.
Well, okay, but let's be fair. When you translate that back out of I'm justifying an $895 million project speak, it basically says it uses hot stuff in a thermometer to keep two conductors different temperatures.
Still magic. You're going to have to go back 2 more steps.
Still too far. Yep.
Don't.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right. By the
you
way,
got
the
to-
VLA was in the movie Contact, not Cosmos. So just say it was an email.
Oh, you're
Ooh,
right. You
such a
are
better
right.
movie.
Yeah, sorry about that. You are right.
Great film.
I think
Love
it was in Cosmos too, but you're right. I think
I'm
it's
sure
in-
it was. Yeah, in
Yeah, but
Cosmos.
you're right. I was referring to Contact.
That's what I figured.
The plan for Voyager missions was to launch the 2 craft in a planetary window. There's a certain alignment that the planets go through about every 175 years that makes this trip much easier because the planets were nearly as close as they can get to each other, and the crafts could use planetary gravity as a sort of slingshot to help them accelerate. Voyager 1 was going to do the flybys of Jazz.
all made up.
Everybody else is just wondering, like, when Mars is in retrograde, how many pigs do I hit with the yellow bird right now, right? That's...
It's not made up. That's like actually an awesome thing they figured out. Yeah.
Voyager 1 was going to do flybys of Jupiter and Saturn's moon Titan, and then get yeeted out of the solar system Voyager 2 would also visit Jupiter and Saturn and then head to Uranus and Neptune.
All right. So just to recap, the fluctometer of the quantum spectrometer triaxial flux capacitor was connected to Zach Morris's cell phone and then shot into space to distract us from the CIA murdering Kennedy. So let's take a quick break.
Oh, Jesus
for some
Christ.
apropos of nothing.
Jesus Christ. CIA murdered Kennedy decade before. What's wrong with you?
It's true. Or so they would have you believe, Cecil.
Gentlemen, welcome to the very first meeting of the Voyager space mission. I want to begin by saying it is an honor to work with all of you. So, what do we got?
As I'm sure you're aware, it is 1976. So I was thinking big ass ruler on it, right? Maybe like, and then, well, yeah, that's all I had was a big ruler. We could put a
big, big ruler. Yeah, got it. So how do we want to communicate with these satellite?
Right.
Communicate?
I forgot about that.
What were we supposed to do with it?
Hold on, I got it. This is a good idea. We put a really big Betamax on it, and then hope it drops a tape.
we'll go straight down.
Yes. Okay. Really big Betamax. Lasts forever. Got it. Great idea. Never.
How about a geothermal plasma reader whose measurements future generations will read by spectrographing the inside heat readings of the device itself?
What the fuck did you just say?
Sorry, I meant a Rubik's Cube. We could put a Rubik's
I love
Cube
it.
on there.
That's thinking.
Yeah. We don't want the satellite to get bored.
Hi, I'm Carl Sagan, and if there's two things I love, it's beating my wife.
Carl Sagan beat his wife? What?
No, he didn't. Eli just keeps saying it on all our shows.
And the Citation Needed podcast, which is why I wanted to remind you to buy your tickets for the Citation Needed live show on October 12th at 7 and 9 p.m.
Why does he say the Carl Sagan thing?
I don't even know. I don't know. I mostly just edited it out.
The gang will be doing 4 episodes over 2 shows, and tickets are going fast, so buy them while you can. Link in the show notes.
Because he's like a super nice guy. I don't know if you guys knew that. He's like a super nice dude.
So hop on over to the People's Improv Theater on October 12th, or I'll give you what I gave my wife, the back of my hand.
No, he didn't.
He's like it's like the reason I'm an atheist. It's a weird joke, man.
I know.
I'm Carl Sagan.
Fuck you,
I don't
Eli.
even sound like him.
And we're back. When we left off, Cecil was earning his paycheck from the space program Conspiracy. And now we're about to launch an Atari rocket to take a picture of Neptune, because that would be super useful.
You know what I do in that check? In the memo section, I write, "Take that, poor people." That's what I do.
No one writes a check to poor people.
Voyager 2 was launched first on August 20th of 1977, and Voyager 1 was launched less than a month later on September 5th.
What? Just switch the fucking names. What are you doing?
They launched Voyager 2 first because it would arrive at both Jupiter and Saturn after Voyager 1 did. And a few days after the launch, on this day in 1977, Voyager took an iconic photo of the Earth-Moon system with the Earth in the lower right and the Moon in the upper left of the photo. It's the first time we'd ever taken a photo of both of these entire planets in a single frame.
Fake.
Obviously fake.
Kubrick's first Instagram. That's
Voyager
Kubrick.
came close enough to Jupiter to fire up the cameras on January 1979 and Voyager 2 in July of that year.
Yeah, but it was 1979. They had to pack that guy with the big mustache and the flashy thing under the blanket. It was.
Both took a great deal of photos until they left the Jovian system. Voyager 1 in April and Voyager 2 in August. They discovered volcanic activity on Io, which is the first time any active volcano was viewed on any other celestial body.
Okay, I call bullshit on that. We've been taking pictures of eruptions over celestial bodies since they invented the camera. Not the first one.
You can see a little thing of vinegar and baking soda in the reflection in one of the guy's glasses. It's a hoax.
They did a time lapse of the atmosphere of Jupiter, and prominent in this film is the giant red spot, which is the largest storm in the solar system.
Yeah, and even that one isn't getting anywhere near Alabama, no matter how you
the
draw
wrong
it.
side of the peninsula, yeah. They also discovered that Jupiter has a ring system, and they discovered 3 moons, making those the first moons ever discovered via spacecraft. It was photos from these missions that led scientists to theorize that Europa, another Jovian moon, may be covered with ice and have a liquid interior.
Yeah, and look, finding 3 moons seems impressive until you mentioned the 69 and counting that they missed, right? So that's what they really did, was flew right by 69 fucking moons and didn't notice.
They were texting and flying, that's
Okay,
why.
Sure.
In November of 1980, Voyager encountered Saturn. It studied the atmosphere of Saturn, and they measured the rotation of the planet to find out the length of its day. 10 hours, 39 minutes, and 24 seconds, if you were interested.
Nailed it. Totally worth the money. I would have said like 11 hours
Okay.
minimum. Like
Okay.
that, and that would have
Okay,
completely fucked up all our
we get it, Heath. Yeah,
Jupiter
no, it's fine.
stuff.
Okay,
That's off by
okay.
one ALP episode.
Fuck you guys.
Solid insight.
Fuck you guys. It's important stuff to know. It also
One more time, 10:39:24.
It also did a flyby of Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Titan's larger than Mercury, which was known to have a dense atmosphere. The photos of the moon make it look like a smooth yellow ball. They did a lot of tests on the atmosphere and found it, quote, is largely nitrogen. Minor components lead to the formation of methane and ethane clouds in a nitrogen-rich organic smog, end quote. The data suggests that Titan might be a planet that looks a lot like Earth with wind and rain, seas, rivers, and lakes, but it isn't water raining down. Instead, it's liquid methane at a temperature around 94 Kelvin or a negative 180 Celsius.
Okay, so wear a sweater. I got it. Got it.
I'll do it. Voyager 2 made its closest approach to Saturn in late August of 1981. It measured Saturn's temperature. It's 70 Kelvin, or it's between 70 Kelvin and 143 Kelvin, or about negative 200 to negative 130 Celsius. It measured the pressure of its atmosphere. When it was leaving Saturn and heading to its next destination, the camera platform locked up briefly, leaving us with this innuendo-filled explanation of what happened next. Quote, the mission engineers were able to fix the problem caused by an overuse that temporarily depleted its lubricant. The Voyager 2 probe was given the go-ahead to explore the Urian system, end quote. Right, guys? Right?
Cool. So Cecil clearly got bored and looked up colonoscopy, and it still worked for the essay. You just used it. If the Wikipedia for your science thing has the same sentence as the one for colonoscopy, it's fake. Your science thing is a hoax.
Could you just summarize, so you're saying that nerds sitting at their computer screen had to wait 20 minutes before taking another whack at the thing?
Yeah, actually, yes.
That's a rule of thumb, it turns out, yeah. Next stop for Voyager 1 at this point was the edge of the solar system. Voyager 2 had 2 more planets to fly by before it heads out into interstellar space. It enters the Uranus system in late January of 1986, and it gets pretty close. And it gets pretty close to the planet in its flyby, 81,000 kilometers, almost 5 times closer than the moon gets to the Earth on average.
Well, Cecil, as the poster on my wall informs me, even if it missed, it landed among the stars.
All right, so little personal note here. I am just old enough and nerdy enough that I remember the countdown to the pictures of Uranus being released. Right, like I grew up and the pictures of Jupiter and Saturn from Voyager were already out there in the world, and we knew even less about Uranus going in. I was so crazy excited to see this brand new planet, and then it was a fucking snowball. Just the most boring ass white ball. Like I honestly, I didn't fully recover from that disappointment until New Horizons sent back its Pluto pics.
Yeah, okay. Well, it might have
Also a hoax planet.
It was a little disappointing looking, Noah, but there was a lot of information we found, okay? I'll have you know, it discovered 11 unknown moons. It checks out the temperature, the atmosphere, and the effect of Uranus's axial tilt of 98 degrees, which means it spins on its side, and no other planet does that. They discovered that the magnetic field of the planet was misaligned from the rotational axis. They found Uranus to be a bit nippy, 60 Kelvin, or negative 213 Celsius, and they measured its day, which was 17 hours and 14 minutes.
Which is all the stuff they told you to distract from the fact that it was a fucking snowball.
They also discovered Uranus had 2 undiscovered rings.
That was kind of cool.
as well. Yeah.
Uranus minora and Uranus majora.
Sorry, Cecil, I hate to be that guy, but you keep saying the Voyager discovered stuff. The Voyager was 2 Ataris wrapped together with duct tape that Earthbound, slightly nerdier Cecil and Noah figured out how to interpret into the fucking way to Mars or whatever. Let's not deny that guy is fucking due. Okay?
Okay. All right. That's fair. In August of 1989, Voyager 2 made its last stop in the solar system at Neptune.
Yeah, at least that one had the decency to be a pleasant shade of blue.
He's so upset.
It discovered that the strongest winds in the solar system occur there, about 1,300 miles an hour.
God
and
damn.
it had a similar superstorm to Jupiter. They named it the Giant Dark Spot. They measured its day, which was 16 hours long, and they found 6 new moons. They found that Neptune is also the coldest known planetary body in the solar system at only 38 Kelvin or negative 235 Celsius.
I can just say, I see it now like, great news, everybody. Our tests confirm it. Neptune, very cold. It's very cold there.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's really far from the sun, so kind of figured, right? Did we not know it'd
Yeah,
be
but
cold?
now we know it. And there's 6 moons. 6 moons.
6 moons. Okay. Not really sure what we do about that, though.
What we do is we know it. You know, now it's a mystery and we've untangled.
No.
this
I
mystery.
get that. Like, the 6. Okay, it's the number 6. I get that, but how is this different from just like bar trivia?
Wait, are you going to lecture me about starving people again?
Are people starving? Like, still?
We can do more than one thing.
Can we?
6 moons.
6 of them, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was 6. It's very cold.
trivia night.
I'm on this episode under protest.
I quit the podcast.
Me and Cecil are going to go make a fun podcast.
We're going to make a fucking astronomy
We'll talk about
podcast.
Etruscans whenever we want. No one will give us any shit about
Fucking cool fucking astronomy is.
Dude, science
you guys will
and
want to
stuff.
be on it. We'll be like, no, you can't be on our show. Fuck you.
And you fake a bunch of Twitter followers?
You only have to because it'll be wildly popular with all the smart people out there.
it. Yeah, all the smart Americans. We'll have a huge audience. You guys will have only the dumb Americans. Nobody will listen to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joe
Okay.
Rogan.
Now, both the probes were headed out of the solar system and on their way to collect the last bit of data they were built for, to examine where our heliosphere meets the interstellar space. The heliosphere is basically a giant bubble of plasma that surrounds our sun and solar system, where the solar winds push back the interstellar medium. It took over a decade, but in February of 2003, Voyager 1 entered the termination shock of the sun. Termination shock is, this marks the point where the solar winds slows to subsonic speeds. In 2005, it entered the heliosheath, which is a turbulent area where the wind from the sun meets the interstellar winds. And on September 12th, in 2013, Voyager left our heliosphere for interstellar space.
An idea that would be way more appealing 3 years and 2 months later, right? Like, boy, did it make the right fucking move.
Take me with you.
With Voyager, humanity's created something beautiful. We've essentially made a message in a bottle and threw it in a cosmic ocean. Voyager 1 and 2 are, for the time being, the farthest man-made objects from us, and they'll continue on until they run into something, which is very unlikely.
I 100% believe that they bumped into each other already, actually. Just
Mathematically impossible.
I still believe it.
Yeah, when Kubrick was reloading them back into the van, they bumped right into each other.
Don't jostle the props, Dave.
Voyager 1 is better. No, Voyager 2 is better.
And they're flying off for billions of years. And in the unlikely event that some intelligence finds either of these craft, they're going to find a message attached to the outside of both of them, the Voyager Golden Record.
Uptown Funk.
So
That'd be an excellent song if that's just literally a record. Or Space Oddity.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
yeah. Space oddity done by that astronaut who did it. That would be amazing.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Fuck you, Eli. Fuck you.
Don't do fake. Fuck you.
I joined in the chorus of
Yeah,
agreement.
I heard it. I could hear it. I could tell. I know. The record is packed with information. They created a code with mathematical and physical contents for those who may find it.
And an escape room in case you break your way in.
The cover of the record has a diagram with binary code explaining the proper speed the record should be played at, and it's expressed in the time period associated with the fundamental transition of the hydrogen atom. It has a diagram of Earth's location, triangulating our planet using pulsars, and uses binary code to show the frequency of the pulses.
Oh my God, I just realized we spent $1 billion to text all the aliens, you up?
Yeah.
Who dis?
Yeah, think of how many Southeast Asians we could have killed with that money. I mean, that's the other thing we do with it.
The record itself has 116 images, which included images of planets, chemical and biological diagrams, solar maps, mathematical definitions, physical unit definitions, people of all ages, wildlife, buildings, cars, bridges, musical instruments, and my favorite, an image of 3 people in a demonstration of licking, eating, and drinking.
Whose fucking idea was this?
Licking, eating, and drinking. Which means we were going to send him a picture of eating and drinking. And one guy was like, hold on, but what about fucking ice cream cones and like oversized lollipops? They're going to be confused. So we had licking in there.
Yeah, listener, you're not looking at this image, but I am, and it just solved the goddamn Fermi paradox.
We've discovered an alien species, Marklar. It seems to want to show us its vacation slides. You know what? Never mind. Fuck it.
The record had many natural sounds like waves, wind, and thunder. It had animal sounds, greetings in 59 languages, and human sounds like footsteps and
they should have
laughter.
had pet sounds,
President
too.
Carter.
It's a good record.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Just Tom.
President Carter wrote this to be included. Quote, "We cast this message into the cosmos. Of the 200 billion stars in the Milky Way galaxy, some, perhaps many, may have inhabited planets and spacefaring civilizations. If one such civilization intercepts Voyager and can understand these recorded contents, here is our message. This is a present from a small, distant world, a token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so that we may live into yours. We hope someday, having solved these problems we face, to join a community of galactic civilizations. This record represents our hope and our determination and our goodwill in a vast and awesome universe." End quote.
Can't help but notice I didn't put anything about Jesus in there, Jimmy. Because, if I was as Christian as Jimmy Carter pretends to be, I might mention God's son. That's fine. Whatever, you big fat liar. That's fine. Leave him out of your
What I
fucking
find
record.
amazing here is we are way more welcoming to actual aliens than to indigenous, migrant, or illegal ones.
There's also on the record music from around the world, a lot of traditional indigenous music, but it also had a smattering of classical music, 3 works by Johann Sebastian Bach, 2 by Beethoven, and 1 by Mozart. It also had 1 rock song, Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good.
Nice. Slide declaration of new classic status slipped into a list of old safe ones. I see. See what you're doing. Johnny Be Good's a good pick, though. I like that.
It really is. I think it's a great song. They were going to put something from the Beatles, but they couldn't because they couldn't get the licensing. Seriously.
Oh my God, it's the perfect metaphor for the Beatles. They get to live in eternity in space forever, but they're too busy fighting about licensing. Can my girlfriend be on the record? No, man, never mind. We're doing Charlie Be Good.
Carl Sagan, Cornell professor and famous science communicator in the 70s through 90s, was the chair of the committee to produce the Golden Record. He also had a hand in directing Voyager 1 to take a very iconic photo after it had finished its mission to Saturn. Sagan asked the imaging team in 1980 to turn Voyager back around toward Earth and snap a photo of our planet. By Sagan's own admission, there would not be scientific significance to the photo because the image would not show any details of our planet from that far out. Instead, his plan was to show the Earth as it is in the cosmos, a tiny planet in a sea of space. The team was happy to do it, but the idea was rejected because there was a chance that aiming the lens back at the sun may damage the imaging system. Fast forward 9 years, and they did decide to take this photo.
And then Carl had to spend the entire rest of his career pretending his reaction wasn't, yeah, no, you guys were right, blue pixel. What this was is such a fucking waste. I'm sorry. Look at the size of this nose. You think I'm not doing cocaine? It's the 70s.
They spun this probe back around and snapped the shot, and it's really an amazing image, despite what Noah just said. The Earth in this photo was taken when the Voyager was 40.4 astronomical units, or 3.8 billion miles away. And it's less than a pixel across. Sagan wrote a long piece about the image and even named a book after it, Pale Blue Dot. And to close this out, I want to read a short bit from that book. Quote, "We succeeded in taking that picture from deep space, and if you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you've ever heard of, every human being who's ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilizations, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every hopeful child, every mother and father, every inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in our history of our species lived here on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam." End quote.
Nerd. And if you had to summarize what you learned in one sentence, what would it be?
First off, it would be "fuck you guys." That would be my summary. Is "fuck you guys."
I literally wrote a note that I was like, hey, I don't want to end my thing with a fart noise after a great Carl Sagan quote. And Heath was like, I've got it. Here it comes. Take that, beauty. Gotcha. Love the Citation Needed podcast.
Yes, I'm ready for the quiz. Just do it.
All right. Cecil, you kind of took the wind out of my Space's stupid goofs by reading two beautiful quotes in a row, one of which is literally the reason I'm an atheist. Whatever. Space is stupid because I can't do it. And now it's time for me to not use my brain again. What songs should be on the golden record? A, "You See in the Sky with Diamonds."
That's pretty good, actually.
B, "Thank You." Thank you. It gets worse. B,
It does.
Yes. Space Jam. C, "Rocket Mankind."
That's okay. That one's not bad. I like that
You.
one.
Or
Yeah.
D, "Bittersweet Symphony." Just a good song. I think it should be on there.
They should do that one Green Day song, that one that they play at every graduation.
Good riddance, time of your
Yeah.
life.
Oh, I Walk a
Another
Lonely
turning
Road?
point. Yeah, there you go. That one. That's the one. That's the secret
riddance, time of your
answer.
life.
E, that Green Day song. Yeah, there you go.
Incorrect. It's secret answer F, "I Walk a Lonely Road." Also by
Broken
Green Day.
Dreams.
Okay.
Maybe name the songs right.
Thank you.
All right, Cecil. The Voyager missions are more important than naysayers want to believe because A, it's only by recognizing and satisfying the innate curiosity that drives mankind that we've accomplished anything at all, and only by yielding to our impulse to learn and to grow and to be bigger than our petty day-to-day lives will we truly achieve anything approaching greatness. Or B, we weren't ever giving that money to poor people. May as well light it on fire.
Fucker.
Science fire.
I was gonna point out, like, well, how much money do you give away? And then I was like, oh yeah, the alimony. Okay, all right, no, that makes sense. All right. Okay. So yeah, it's B. It's
Well, I
B.
didn't say the answer was B, Cecil. It could have been A.
It's B. It is B.
It is B, though.
All right.
It's really B.
I got one for you. What is the single item that registers higher on my personal historical disappointment list than the Voyager pictures of Uranus? A, the day I realized this was as big as it was getting. B,
Wait, is that true?
no, yeah, that's just, it doesn't,
Yeah.
There's not like a second puberty, sir. I'm sorry to be the one to tell
Damn
you.
it.
B, the fact that I sat through that whole damn season and Rhiannon and Deet never fucked. C, my career.
Oh, shit.
Or D, the moment I realized that C, my career worked perfectly for this joke.
Oh, it's D, and I'm just as sad as you are, buddy.
Yeah, right, yeah. And on a happy note.
If it makes you feel any better, when you Google Rianne and Deet, the first Google suggestion is fan fiction. So there's a lot of unhappy people out there right there with you.
Somewhere for me to go. Okay, good. Well, wrap this shit up, Heath. Wrap this shit up.
Excellent. Noah wins. Congratulations.
Yeah, you were wrong or something, Cecil, and right on Eli's, I guess.
Almost certainly wrong.
I get to pick the essayist. The essayist will be Eli for fucking up the whole rhythm of the question thing.
Yay!
All right. Well, for Tom, Noah, Cecil, and Eli, I'm Heath. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We'll be back next week, and by then, Noah will be an expert on something else. Between now and then,
Nope, Eli.
You can hear Tom and
Eli.
Cecil on Cognitive Dissonance, and you can hear Eli, Noah, and myself on God Awful Movies, The Scathing Atheist, and The Skeptocrat. And if you'd like to make a per-episode donation, you can go to patreon.com/citationpod. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, listen to past episodes, connect with us on social media, or take a look at the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
Motherfucker. Fucking dick.
Hey, Cecil, what's the matter, dude?
Fucking nothing, Noah. Just Tom, Heath, and Eli. Such jerks about the space on today's show, you know? What the hell?
Yeah, I get it. But hey, you want to see something that'll make you feel a lot better?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Eli, Tom, Heath, look, we put googly eyes on the Voyager, and now it looks real sad.
So beautiful.
I love it!
I want it to have all the money it needs to come home.
Oh, they're idiots. I get it.
Yep.
You know what? I do feel better.
Good.
His eye popped off.
Voo-Voo, no!
What?
Put it back! He's hurting!
Save Voo-Voo!